YouTube. Hello people. This is my first video, so hi. I'm kind of doing it old school, so be gracious. This is a tag to the Mentalist video asking 12 questions, and I'm starting to ramble. Wow, 10 seconds in, not a good start. Let's keep going. So we'll just go with the 12 questions and see what happens. First is the Mentalist in one word. I'm probably going to go with con, because in every episode there is a con and there is someone getting conned. Either Jane's doing it, or someone's doing it to the team, or just there's a con somewhere. So, con. Number 2, describe the first time you watched it. Well, to be honest, I just got into it. I heard about it for years, and it was kind of in the back of my mind, going, oh, it might be nice one day, but I had too many other things to do. And then a friend of mine brought it up one day as a joke, going, that was when she started noticing how attractive men would look in a waistcoat. And so that kind of stuck in the back of my mind, and one day, halfway through a college semester, there was nothing on TV, and I desperately needed a break from homework, and I happened to realize that I knew TNT had marathons because I love to watch Leverage, also on TNT. So there was a marathon on the Mentalist, and I thought, what the hey, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, 3 episodes in, I'm just like, where has this been? And because I loved it, and I love all his little tricks, and because it's a great psychology thing, so you like seeing how he does it, you love the mysteries. It's just such a interesting cast of characters. You just love it because they're all so unique and just so them. And yeah, so I kind of made a plan right then and there. I was going to get through that 4.5 seasons, because season 5 had just started at the time. So 4.5 seasons, I got that right, in the rest of half of the semester. I succeeded. I also passed, in case you were worried. Let's see. Save season. Okay, disclaimer. I have yet to see all the episodes of Season 4, and I think I'm missing a couple from Season 3 because TNT will not show them, go figure. Don't ask me why, because you'll see the end, you see the beginning, but there's this gap, and for Season 4 through like 2 through 10 that you never see, and then random ones through Season 3, so first of all I'm going to say that. That being said, I think my favorite is Season 2 because there's so many just points that made me laugh, and just kind of great cases and random stuff, and that was kind of really started to make sense to me because I did try to watch it in order, but like I said, what do you do? And I'm kind of impatient, so I just did my best. Favorite episode? So there's over 100, right? You want me to do one? Okay. I'm probably going to go with Red Dawn because I love a good kind of flashback if it's done right. And that one was done just fantastically. You had enough kind of the throwbacks to the later seasons, but at the same time you had enough new stuff because whether people admit it or not, everyone really wanted to know how did Jane come to work for them, because that would not be a logical step to go, hey, we're stuck. Let's go get this guy used to be a fake psychic. That's just not a logical step. So that was kind of nice, and love seeing Benelli again. I miss him. He was still my favorite CBI director. Hightower right behind him, but he's still a man. Favorite memory? Okay, do you mean like memory associated or memory from an episode? We'll do both. Start with the episode. My favorite moment from an episode really actually does come, I have 2. One actually does come from Red Dawn, and it's probably not what you're going to think it is. My favorite thing is Jane getting punched in the nose. Well, A, it's funny, and B, is just the most perfect bit of foreshadowing that the first thing nearly that happens to Jane as he walks in the CBI, he gets punched in the nose. Because, honestly, I meant to kind of count that up, but how many times have we seen him get punched or slapped? But it's just such a great throwback, and it just plays into the story, and it's not just for, and I also like his, it's not just for a comedy, because it does play into the story, and it's just perfect, and I love it. The other bit was from Crimson Casanova, which is from Season 1, and it's the whole thing about sending Cho undercover as this ladies' man, which is just awesome in every respect, because it starts out with Jane threatening to take him shopping, which I'm sure is probably something he'd never thought he'd hear Jane say, and it probably scares him just a little. With me. And then, of course, there's no business like show business, which is probably the most punniest but awesome line the whole episode. And then, of course, there's and then there's what he whispers to that girl when there's half me that is equally curious and the other half is equally sure I really don't want to know what he said to her. Kind of stuck on that one. But those are my favorite moments from that. And as far as memory associated with The Mentalist, a good friend of mine who also loves the show, her favorite thing about it is Jane's car, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce the type of car. Just, you know what I'm talking about. Well, when I forgot to look this one up, but the episode where he breaks Lorelai out, spoilers, sorry, I'm just going to assume everyone's caught up on episodes for whatever I say, so if you're not, I apologize in advance, and you should stop the video and then come back to it when you're caught up. But the episode, of course, when he breaks her out in season 5, and he has to kind of beat up his own car, the first thing I thought of as soon as that happened was just horror. I was just like, Stephanie is in tears right now. And so we ended up having basically this almost funeral for his car via text that night and through the next day. And it's a lot funnier than it sounds, I promise. So that was probably my favorite memory associated with it. All right, question 6. How has The Mentalist changed your life? Well, I guess besides giving me a lot of stuff, a lot of distraction for when I probably should have been doing schoolwork, which is always nice, I think it's changed my people reading skills because you watch it and you just, half the fascination with this show is watching how Jane does these things. And, of course, if you get the DVDs like I may have started to, you start seeing that a lot of these tricks are based off of things that a real mentalist would do. So it's kind of fun to kind of figure out how he does it. And then it makes me want to try it. And even if I fail, I still want to keep trying until I get it right. So I guess it's kind of changed that way. I want to, as my people reading has improved, and it makes me want to try all these little tricks. I have yet to have a success. I will let you know. Okay, listener Van Pelt. Sorry, Van Pelt. Lisbon wins. She's just awesome. It's a fact. Cho Rigsby. As you probably guessed, Cho. Rigsby, you're adorable. I love ya. Cho, the Iceman. Okay. What character would I want to be? Okay. I would want to have Jane's skills, but would I want to go through all that crap? Yeah, it's not worth it. I'll live with my lack of success rate. And no, thank you. So I'd probably have to be Lisbon. Yeah, he puts her through a lot of stress and awkwardness and more stress. And she has to take a lot of heat from her boss. But all the fun and the craziness and then just the childish sort of mischievous, tenacious 3-year-oldness that comes along with him, it's all kind of worth it. So I'd take all the frustration if I could have all the fun. So there we go. So Lisbon. What would you say to Patrick, Jane, if I could meet him? Okay, guys. I thought about this question, and everything I come up with is cliche. It's not very deep, and everyone said it before. So we'll just kind of briefly say, buddy, I know you had some pain, and it sucks. And it's always going to suck. But if you're not, but you formed kind of another family with this team, with these group of people, and if you're not careful, you're going to lose them too. So just kind of open your eyes to that. Sorry, that's all I got. Who is Red John? Bye. Okay, I thought about this one too. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. Everything I come up with is too obvious, and I have enough faith in Bruno Heller and the writing team that it's not going to be that obvious. Because every time it's just like, oh, I think it's this person. Well, duh. Of course it is. It's because I think if we learned anything, it's the red herring from especially season 3. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So. And I know a big one going around right now is that it's kind of a Darth Vader thing. That's his dad. I can see both sides of that. It'd be kind of cool just to see how they would do it. I'm not saying that's what I think. Pretty cool. All I really know is it's going to be someone that is kind of instantly recognizable, so all the fans get that kind of good emotional payoff at the end. That's the only thing I know. How do you want the series to end? Okay, this is just a side note. Before the series ends, I want to see some more of the families of the team. I want to see some more of Lisbon's brothers and her niece, who was awesome. I want to see more of the Jane's Carney friends and Rixby's son, and I don't think we've seen Cho's or Van's Peltz yet, have we? We know her dad's a coach, but I don't think we've met them. Like I said, I haven't seen all the episodes, I could be wrong. But that's one thing. And also, my only thing is I don't want the last episode to be Red John's defeat, which again is kind of obvious. Because we've been with everyone, especially Jane, on this up and down roller coaster, tug at your emotions. 1 second you're going to cry, 1 second I'm going to hug someone. Kind of roller coaster ride. And if it just ends right there with his defeat, we don't get that catharsis. We don't get that payoff. So, first of all, I want his defeat. Somehow, some way, I'm not quite sure. But just kind of a good, I just want some kind of defeat where it's over. It's just like you can officially say that part of the chapter is done. And I want at least 3 or 4 episodes after this, preferably half a season. I mean, hey, if you want to just, like, keep going, that's great too. But minimum. So I want to see kind of, it's not only an ending chapter for Jane, it's an ending chapter for everyone, because they've been there with him that last, 10 years now, with the new episode coming up on Sunday, it's 10-year marker. So this is kind of a new chapter for all of them. So I want to see how they all move on from that. I want to see what happens when they don't have that being there, being lurking, and kind of being over their shoulder. And then I want to see Jane heal, because that's kind of all we're waiting for. We all become so attached, and it kills us when he's hurting, and he's still hurting from his wife and his daughter. And we want to see him kind of let that go and kind of just see what happens, see what he, like a better way to put it, see what he becomes now that he's not a con, he's not a fake psychic anymore. But what will he do once that's no longer in the picture? What will they all do? That's kind of that. And, fine, I'll say it. I want some Jane and Lisbon-ness, okay? It is fantastic. I love the old married couple bit. I love how sometimes it's almost like a mother with this kind of precocious child, but at the same time, it's like a best friend. It's just like, it's one of the most multi-dimensional kind of couplings out there. And again, also, they've been through a lot. You want to see some happiness at the end of this rainbow here. Okay, that was the 12 questions. Hope it didn't ramble too much. Hope it was understandable. And that's it. Cheers. And yes, it's tea. Jane would be proud.